Welcome back to the channel, Reason Through Time. I'm your host, June Torres. Today we're going to be talking about gaming. I've been gaming since I was young, since I was a little kid, and it's amazing how it's like the progression of video games, of where it started to where it is now. Is just amazing. It is. Just think about this. I believe that the first console ever was Atari. Atari was the first console ever. Just let that sink in. And for you youngsters who may come across this video and may never have seen an Atari, just Google it. Just Google it. And look up what an Atari, and look up what the type of games that was for Atari. The one game that I remember for Atari, it's a few of them, but one in particular was E.T. E.T. was one of those. First of all, there has not been one game for the Atari system that I played that I beat. Because it was like, for example, E.T., you know, it had the silhouette of the alien E.T., but the game itself, I don't know what I needed to do. Like, I had to go about it because there was no map system. There was no, you go up, you have ET go up, and then the screen changes to another scene, and you could go left, right, but overall, you didn't know where you were at. You get me? But if you do Google, if you go on YouTube and you look up ET, you can beat the game. You can. A lot of these games you can, obviously, but it was just the way I don't know, it was just weird. The way it was done, it was hard to figure out, okay? But if you think about Atari, what was the next system after Atari? I don't even know. I know we had it was like another version of Atari, but it was an upgrade. I forgot what that one was called. I believe my sister still has that one. She still has not the original. I think she does got I think she has both. I think she has the original Atari plus the upgrade version of Atari. I think she does have both of them. I don't think they work, but she definitely still has them. And then obviously Nintendo, Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis, GameCube. There's other ones that I'm missing in between. But my point is, we went from just pixels at one point with cartridges, and those cartridges were humongous too for the Atari. Excuse me. But and first of all, let me just say before I continue, that second generation Atari was humongous. Like, that thing weighed as much as a small TV. I wish I had something in my room that I can kind of give you an equivalent to. But that thing, like okay, let's check this out. This is my laptop right here, right? It was double the size of this, plus it weighed like you had 10 bricks. That's how heavy the damn thing was. That thing was humongous, man. It was so big, but what it was able to, do wasn't really much. Oh, one game I used to love for the Atari, the upgraded one, I believe it was called River Raid. I believe it was called. Was it River Raid? That was the one game I used to always play, but again, never beat. It was like a continuing, and it had to do with like a plane. You flew a plane and you had obstacles, and did you shoot? I'm not sure if you shot missiles in that plane, but I do know was that you flew the plane and you had to fly over. You couldn't touch like the two. You had two like little sidebars here that you couldn't touch. You couldn't touch anything that was under the ground. Like an airplane game, just a flight game. And that was one in particular that I played all the time. Oh, forget about it. But But it's just amazing the progression from Atari to where we are now. Matter of fact, let me turn on my computer so I can get the exact years. I should have done, matter of fact, I should have done that before doing this video. I just want to do the video really quick. But just think about that. It had to be at least a good 20 to 30 years. I say 30 years from the Atari to the PS5. Right? It had to be at least a 20, 30 year gap. And it's amazing. Like the last game I played that I put in, oh my goodness, and that was Elden I put in about 300 plus hours in Elden Ring. And that's the first game that in a long time, since I can remember, that I put in so many hours of playing. Now mind you, I work, I do the podcast, and I also now with the new schedule that I've created, I could do more videos on YouTube. So I'm pretty much busy, and let's check this out right quick. But I was still able to put in 300 hours plus in Elden Ring. Let's see, how do you spell Atari? Matter of fact, let's just use the mic. Oh shit, I forgot to plug this in. Let's plug this in right quick. There you go. Dismiss. Let's go here. When did Atari come out? When did Atari come out?
Here's what I found.
So it came out in 1972. 1972 is when Atari came out. Ain't that something? Oh my goodness. How many years is that? That's about, wow. I said 20, 30 years. Motherfucker, I'm so off. That's a 50-year difference. So think about that. So within 50 years, you go from a system that was like this big, right? Even though the PS5 is fairly big too. But that's not the point. The point is you go from a system and that was created in 1972 to a system, the PS5 came out this year or was it last year? But 50 years later, you have a new system that when you put it on, it's like, wow, this is amazing. Especially when you have these games where you can see the water and you're like, yo, that is real water. And you're looking at the trees, like a game that's a very beautiful game, which is Ghost of Tsushima. Ghost of Tsushima, that is such a bright colored, just visually, it is an awesome looking game. So we go from Atari to like one pixel, whatever that was, to a game like Ghost of Tsushima, to where you're just blown away at how beautiful it is. Especially if you're playing it on a computer, even much more, And I can just imagine where we're gonna go from here. Because it's gonna get to the point where, just think about that. It's gonna get to the point where the characters in the game are going to look realistic. You're going to think that this is a real human being that's been put into the game. Because the graphics is gonna be so good that it's gonna be like, oh my goodness, this is a real actor. This is a real guy, this is a real woman playing this part in the game. You're not even gonna think that it's a computer generated, a character, And then that's just handheld games, mind you. That's just you using a controller. There's another step to this, which is what I want to bring up too, which is I got the Oculus. I can never say that game. The this Oculus. But you get what I'm saying. The VR set, right? First of all, I will have to admit I love these controls. For some reason, I love the way it just feels so good in your hands. But one drawback, they eat up battery, man. Oh my goodness, these things eat up battery. But then again, it's pretty. I think it works out because it kind of stops you from playing for a very long time. Especially this also dies. This also doesn't hold up the charge. Maybe a good hour or two. Even then, if it all depends, because I know that sometimes I watch movies with the Oculus, because you have Prime on this too. You can get Prime, you could download Prime, and you can watch film, and it seems like you're in a theater, watching a film in a theater, and I fucking love that, how that feels. But who would have thought that one day we could get to this? Think about that. And there's certain games. No, this is not even a game. It's free. It's free to download, and it has to do with the Diary of Anne Frank, right? But what they do is they go into the room where Anne Frank was living during the time of the Nazi regime had taken over, right? And she, obviously the Jewish people, they were all hiding and didn't want to get captured. And so this free download, they basically show where she was staying at, and oh my goodness, it is wonderful, because it's like you're in the very room that she was in when she was hiding from the Nazis, right? And you can see how she was living. You can see the bathroom, the toilet, and it was like the old school toilet where to flush it, you had to, it's like this little chain that you had to bring down. Like, it's just so awesome. Like, that free download, if you're planning to get this, definitely, I'm not sure if it's probably still there, because I still have it. It's definitely a free download, and it's just amazing because you could really see how she was living. And not just her, because she was there with other people, obviously. And it's such and I think that's part of the future of VR. It's not just for a leisure time, or for relax, or for entertainment. It could also be something that can be used to learn, where you can basically go across the world and not be there, but you can see how people are living. Like, you don't have to go and travel over there. So imagine, in 50 years, we have gotten to this point with the VR system. And mind you, it's still not, this is still at its infancy. This is still a baby. Give it another 50 years and trust me, in another 50 years, you're not going to, it's going to be hard to really, it's going to be so good. I can't say we're going to get to a point where you're not going to be able to figure out what is real and what is not. I don't think it's going to get to that point. But another 50 years, you will be able to be in another room with somebody else, where I could literally be talking to you just like this, like you're here in the room with me. That's how advanced I believe in 50 years, even 100 years, I say 100 years, the VR system is going to get to where when we are playing Call of Duty, it's like you're here with me. I believe that's how we're gonna get. We're gonna get to that point. And that is an amazing thing, because that leap of advancement that we are doing, that we are having with gaming, is unbelievable. Because again, within 50 years, we go from here to here. So imagine another 50, and then add another 50 to that. So I truly believe that in another 100 years, we are going to be able to play Call of Duty or any of these type of games. And when we are playing online, you're going to be able to literally have that person right next to you. And you can see their whole full body. It's going to be an amazing thing. I'm telling you, it truly is. It's going to, oh my goodness, man. To be able to experience that. And again, I believe that this is going to be what it's going to be. It's going to be worth more than just entertainment. It could be something that could be used in schools to learn, to you know, if you're like a scientist and you know you're you're going to school to be a scientist, right? Let's just say, and this could be, you can use this, like let's just say you want to be somebody who studies the ocean. Well, this will be a good place to start. Instead of, obviously you're gonna have to always do the real thing, but it's kind of like a flight simulations. When you're learning how to fly a plane, you also do flight simulations. Yes, you're still gonna have to do the real thing, but it is a starting move. It is a place where you can, you know, have a lot of practice and learn a lot while not really putting yourself in danger. So this would be a great device to use to learn if you're doing, you know, studies underwater, and you can just put this on and you can see how the underwater is. Like the things that what VR can do and what it can and how it can progress humanity to the next level, it's gonna be out of this world. I don't think you can put a price to that, because it's gonna be so. The value is gonna be priceless. The value of it's gonna be priceless, because you're gonna be able to learn so much and explore the world in such a way, because you don't have to really physically be there. You know, it could be like the prelude to doing the real thing. So you can have an idea of what to expect. Like imagine climbing a mountain, climbing Mount Everest. Obviously, you're going to have to learn how to climb first. You know, that's the basics. But to have an idea of what you may face while you're in Mount Everest, well, if you have something like this that you could just put on, and then you can see the trails that has already been established by other climbers. Well, that's gonna be a bonus for you. That's gonna be a whole bonus for you, because now you can see and you can, okay, look. And when you really get there, you can be like, okay, here, this is the trail. This is what I learned while doing the VR set. So the value of the VR outside of entertainment is priceless. It really is. And I definitely look forward to the future of how it's, man. Just think about that, man. Really, I don't see how you can have I don't think there will ever be a boring day. There will never be a boring day, because there's always something to do. You can either go out there physically and do it yourself, or you can just hop in, bang, put the VR set, and you're ready to go. Man, yo, it's and the funny thing is, all this has been started just through gaming, through a entertainment sector. And through this entertainment sector, the uses of this for other things other than entertainment, it's enormous, because there's so many things you can do with it. Okay, there's also free downloads on this where you can see a blacksmith. There's one that I have where you can see the blacksmith working and how he does it. And it's like you're right there with the guy as he's making a sword. You know, like I'm telling you, it's just amazing. There's another one that I have. It's not. I didn't download it. It's free. It's on YouTube 360. That's what it's called, YouTube 360. And the amazing part is you could just turn around. That's why it's called 360, because you could turn around and you could just see everything. It's just awesome. Like the ones I've watched is skydiving. I've watched the ones where they are climbing like this, I guess, waterfall. One of the largest, I think it's in Venezuela. I could be wrong, or Argentina. I could be wrong about that. And you could just see like the enormous size of this mountain. And it's like, and you see this waterfall coming down, and then, you know, you see the plane going up, and it's like you're with the plane, you know, and you look to your side and you see the other person next to you. You're like, holy, it's amazing, man. So if you don't have one, cause I think when I bought this was $300, I think. So it most likely is cheaper now. So definitely, obviously, this is not what we're gonna be. Is nowhere close to what this is. Again, this is like the newborn one. You know, the newborn of where can we go to, but you're going to have fun with it because you're going to be able to, again, I don't even play the games. I don't even know, I know I have one zombie game. I have a zombie game. I have, man, I don't even remember the games I have because I don't even play the games. I'm so busy just, you know, going on YouTube 360 and looking up, just like I said, you know, skydiving videos where you're there and mountains and waterfalls and underwater. It's, man, it's freaking dope. But what you guys think? Do you guys think that the progression of VR, the progression of gaming, where we gonna get to? Is it gonna be less than 100 years? Is it gonna be less than 50 years? Do you think it's right around the corner, like in 10, 15 years? Or do you think it's gonna take that much longer? Do you think it's gonna be 200 years before we can even get to that point? I think 100 years will suffice. I think in 100 years, what we'll be able to develop with VR and just gaming in general, I think it's gonna be so realistic that I think some people are gonna be like, I'd rather live here than out here in the world. Okay? So what you guys think? I don't know. That's just my opinion on things. Yeah, that's all I have. That's because this. I just wanted to talk about this. It just came into my mind, and I just want to give my opinion or my view on gaming, and just the VR, just the virtual reality, and where that's going. Yeah, that being said, thank you guys. Thank you for watching the video. I definitely appreciate it. Thank you also for listening to the podcast. I appreciate it. Yeah, stay tuned. As once again, the podcast is available on pretty much all platforms. Every new episode airs on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesdays by 7 a.m. and then the YouTube videos every Thursday and Friday by 12 p.m. So basically 5 days of content you will get. And yeah, thank you so much for listening to the podcast and for watching the video. Peace.